Okay, we're demoing the Gretsch G2420 Fireburst. I'll be honest, I bought the guitar mainly. I have a bunch of Gretches, and I think they're probably the best made guitars on the market in this price range today. Really, for a dollar, for value, just really can't beat them. And they just seem to get better each generation. This is the newest version of this is a Hollow-body. And It's a really versatile guitar. I'm really impressed with it. Color, fit, and finish was perfect. Everything out of the box, this is brand new, was perfect. Yeah, I have black fingernails because of Halloween. Didn't get that off yet. So, yeah, as you can see, it's just a really beautiful arch top guitar. The new design on these, they've gone to a more traditional shape pickguard, which I actually really prefer. It has that real more vintage, old school classic vibe, which I really like. They've also gone to the smaller fret markers on the fretboard, which I actually kind of like too when I'm playing it. For some reason, I feel like I like the way the block inlays look in general, but when I'm playing, I kind of feel like I like it with a more cleaner fingerboard. The dot markers, of course, are enough for me to see where I am on the neck, but I seem to like it better with this nice clean look on the fretboard. Okay, looks aside, it's just an all around really beautiful guitar. The necks are a little more of a C shape. I guess they still have a little bit D. This, I don't know if I'm not going to say they're all the same, but this is I think my fifth Gretsch, in this line, the Indonesian models, the G2 models, whatever. I have a G2262 with a big speed, double cutaway, semi-hollow, which I love. And that was my first, and then I have which model is this one? Oh, sorry, this is the junior cutaway, double cut, semi-hollow, center block. This is the 2655. And this is the older model, and they had this sort of more of, I guess, a teardrop shape pickguard. But I got this one on clearance, I guess because they're clearing them out for the newer models. This is probably a couple years old model. Anyway, not a whole... I think the biggest difference is in the electronics on the new ones. So these pickups are the BT... What are they? BT20... Oh, sorry, 2S. So this is the I guess this is the second generation of these. They're they're a humbucker, but I guess they try to retain some of the vintagey Gretsch sound, and they're pretty nice. So anyway, I'll be doing a little comparison just for the tone on the pickups. I mean, it's a different guitar, but whether it's the semi-hollow or the hollow, I think that's going to have some difference in the tone, but the pickups are going to make more of a difference probably overall. So we'll just have that on hand for comparison. The new generation of this line of guitars, Streamliners, I think they're called. These have the BT 3s, so the third generation, and these come with these cool radio style knobs, and same configuration as all the Gretsches, which are two tone pots, one for each pickup, one master tone pot, and then a master volume, which I really kind of like this configuration as opposed to the standard 2 volumes, 2 tones. I'm fine with one tone pot, really. Can't see too many situations where you need separate tone controls for each pickup, but having the master volume is cool because you can dial in a blend of the two pickups how you want in the middle position, and then use the master volume for your overall roll off. Okay, so that's pretty standard, but these also come with the master pot has a push-pull, so these have split coils on them, which is a really nice new, I guess let's call it an upgraded feature. I think it's some kind of new, I don't know if it's tusk or something. It's really nice. It looks like bone, but it seems to have a nice smooth feel to it. This guitar came pretty well, perfectly set up out of the box. I really didn't have to do anything except tune it up, maybe give the strings a slight bit of stretch. They didn't really need much. It seems like they were already broken in. Or, well, not broken in, they're new, but they seem like they were stretched. And they're also Diodario, they look like Diodario XLs based on the ball end, the colored ball ends that you can see through here. And they feel like 10 gauge, which is probably a little lighter than I would normally play on this guitar. I might go to 11s on this guitar. But so far, though, I like the way it sounds and the way it plays. Oh, I was starting to say the neck is a little bit thinner on these than on the previous models, just slightly bit, but not terribly noticeably thinner, and not too thin. Although I would probably prefer it if it was a little bit thicker, but it's still totally fine and totally playable. Okay, enough blabbering. Let's hear what the thing sounds like. So, I'll start off with everything turned pretty much fully up. I'm playing this through a Roland JC77. I've turned up the treble and the high treble a bit. Otherwise, mid-range and bass is on 12 o'clock. I'm in the low input just for a little headroom, and I'm almost at 12 o'clock on the amp. So I'm going to be demonstrating use of the volume control, so I want to give myself a little headroom, so that's why I have the amp a little louder. Okay, I'm using this amp because it's pretty colorless. It's a very clear tone, but it doesn't color the sound very much, so I think it's good for demoing to hear the actual tone of the guitar without too much coloration from the amp. Okay, so let's just, I don't know, just play some chords already, right? I'm going to start in the bridge position. Back off the volume a little, because I'm prone to feedback. It is a hollow body, and it is prone to feedback if you're playing at a loud volume and you're anywhere near the amp, which I'm about 2.5, 3 feet away. So. If you're hearing a little noise, it's because I do have a pedal chain plugged in, and I'll be demoing with a little bit of effects just in a bit, but okay. So it's pretty full but present tone, bright but full. And then let's hear it. Now what I found is interesting is that the tone volume or the tone master tone control seems to not affect things exactly the way you would expect. So you would expect that the full open tone at 10 is going to give you the brightest sound, but actually what I'm finding, at least to my ears, is that I would probably set this thing around 5 as the default, and then I'll let you hear what I mean. So this is probably around 5. And what I hear to my ear is, it sounds to me very clear at this, and there's a lot of top end. And then when I go full 10, I just turned it up, and you can't really see my position of where I'm sitting, but it actually sounds slightly darker but louder. Back to about 5. This is just a tone. So I'm at 5. Now I'm at 10. So it has, I don't know, it's like got a little more high mid-range. So it almost seems to affect the tone in a sort of creative way, which I actually like, because and you have to really turn it almost to 0 to get a full roll off. It's probably about 2. So for me, I feel like the sweet spot for my ear with this tone is somewhere around 5 or 6 in the middle. I do like what it does when you turn it all the way up, and we'll see maybe with the dirty tones and different pickup settings that you'll hear how it sounds. Okay, so let's hear this thing in the middle position. Now the tone is all the way up. I'm going to back the tone off a little bit. I don't know if you hear that, but I definitely hear that rolling the tone off gives it slightly less of a, like a low, somewhere in the, I don't know, I was going to pick a frequency in the maybe 3 or 4K range. Maybe 2K. It sounds almost like a little more of a mid-scoop. So, playing with this tone knob, you really can dial in a bit of character. It sounds really sweet. I really like this tone. I like what the tone pot is doing. And then, let's go to the neck position now. I'm going to throw some reverb on here because I would normally play. Now, the tone is all the way up now. a lot of brightness, a lot of attack, very crisp tone. I really like the responsiveness and the dynamics of these pickups. A lot of clarity and twang. I do feel like these BS3s, are they? BT? Are they Broadtron? BT3s, Broadtrons they're called. I feel like this model has a little more punch in the bass and the low end, and just a more overall well-balanced sound. They're pretty, I feel like they're hot too. They definitely have some nice output, but they maintain the beautiful clarity in the tone. Can you play jazz on it? I think you can. Oh, by the way, I've been using a Ernie Ball Durlin pick, which is, I guess, like a tortoise. What do they call it? Tordex. Same kind of pick. This is a 0.73, so medium heavy, I would call that. Just to hear the difference in the tone, I do have one of these more of a jazz pickup pick. This is called it's a Jim Dunlop Stubby. It's called. It's a little guy, and it has different tone really. So that's another thing is your pick you'll get a lot of different tone depending on what pick you use. Which I actually like the way this guitar sounds with this pick too. It's got a little more of a jazz flavor, right? So I'm gonna roll off that tone and see if I can get that more. Yeah. So yeah, I think you could definitely play jazz on it. If I was going to play some bebop I would learn how to play bebop first, but then I would do. So yeah, you can definitely bop with the thing. It's got that pop, and I would probably go with heavier gauge strings if I was gonna set this up for jazz. But I don't know. I feel like I do have a few other jazz boxes, so I don't think I'm gonna set this one up for it because I really like the bright tones that I can get with the full round wound strings. For jazz, I usually use flat wounds, but I really like the way this guitar sounds as it is, and it plays so buttery and easy. Even with these 10s, there's a lot of tone coming out of the guitar. I don't think I'd go higher than 11s on this guitar just because the playability of it is so comfortable. So yeah, so there's all your clean tones, but I haven't even done the coil split, so I'll just run through a little bit more. Okay, to the bridge. Let's hear it with the coil split. No idea what I'm playing right now, really. Just trying to get some. I really like the way the coil split sounds on this guitar, and I don't say that about a lot of like your standard humbuckers. Usually when you go hear coil splits on it, it's sort of like pseudo single coil. This almost sounds to me almost like an old school filter truck. Probably roll the tone back a little, just a little bit. As opposed to coil split definitely pulls a. Yes, it's going to be a little lower output, but it gives you a little more clarity, a little more of like a real true single coil kind of tone, and I'm very impressed with that. Just out of the bridge position. Let's hear it in the middle position. Again, I'll A-B these, and here's without the coil split, so humbucker. Coil split. Should have tuned this thing before this demo, huh? I'm gonna go with a lighter pick here. This is a, well, I don't know, it feels a little lighter. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Really pretty tones in that middle position in the split coil mode. Let's go to the neck. Okay, I'm gonna do is back off the volume a little bit so that when I do the coil split, I can boost it just so that you're not hearing such a big volume difference. Okay, so that's your single coil neck position. Very bright. If you wanted to give it more of an old school jazz, that go into that split coil, you can. I'll just put a light compressor on here so I can give a little less dynamic range. But this tone is rolled off completely here, but split coil mode. That's with the tone all the way up. With the single coil mode, I like the tone knob kind of cranked all the way up. It kind of fills in and gives the that split coil a little more body. So with the tone rolled off, you can get a little more of that really. Very cool, subtle differences with this tone. One of the coolest things I'm hearing about this guitar, something very interactive about that tone control and how it does subtly really change the EQ curve a little bit in a non-linear way. It's very cool. You don't lose the shimmer. Kind of thins out the tone a little when you roll the tone knob off. It's very different than most tone controls I've ever heard. So whatever they're doing there, whatever voodoo, that I have no idea what they did, but I really like it. And I haven't heard it on other guitars, although I think they're doing it with this whole line, which makes me maybe consider I need to upgrade my other guitars. Alright, so that's been our clean tone, so I'm gonna back off this reverb a little bit, and let's hear what this thing sounds with a little gain. I'm gonna start with the tube screamer, pretty much everything at 12 o'clock, and in the bridge position. Let's hear how this thing sounds with a little overdrive. I forgot I was in split coil mode, so since I'm going high gain, I'm gonna hear it in regular humbucker mode. Let's hear that again. So you definitely get a lot of feedback if you want it. I was playing around with that before. I don't, I wouldn't try to play anything with a lot of gain with this guitar unless you wanted to really get a lot of feedback. Doesn't really loan itself to that, although it could be done. And let's hear it in the middle. I think I was getting a lot of feedback, especially in the neck position, but you could use that in a creative way. I'll go to the neck. Hear the neck with split coil. Middle position. Middle position humbuckers. So, it gives you an idea with some overdrive. We'll go high gain, just for shits and giggles. That was all bridge position in the humbucker. Let's go single coil. Kind of really like the way that sounds with some higher gain in that single coil mode. Let's hear it in the... Careful, I really... Alright, again, a little crazy there. Turn the gain up, or the level up a little. What's happening there is, when you have a hollow body and you get that kind of feedback, this thing starts vibrating like crazy, and I'd be a little afraid that the guitar might come unglued. So yeah, but could be used really effectively if you like a lot of feedback. Let's hear it in the neck position. Humbucker single coil. Really, I gotta say, I like the way the split coils sound with some gain on it. I'm gonna switch the pickup here to this Ultex triangle pick. Different material. Let's see how this sounds. Alright, enough with the high gain. Back to clean. Well, I think it gives you a pretty good idea of what's capable with this guitar. You really probably could play anything besides really heavy stuff. I don't think it really loans itself to that. I mean, it's kind of fun, but this wouldn't be the guitar I would pick. Although the pickups in a guitar or semi or, well, they don't really. I don't think Gretsch makes. They make solid bodies? Yeah, they do. Well, they make a Les Paul. Well, what do they call it? It's not a Les Paul, electromatic, but solid body. It's chambered. I guess it's kind of like a Les Paul. Those are kind of heavy, though, if you like heavy guitars. Just for comparison, I tried to see what these other pickups sound like. It's a different guitar, semi-hollow. As I mentioned, this is the older version of these pickups. So it's going to sound different for a number of reasons, but let's hear what we got out of this guy. The B, what are these? Okay, so honest, I can't really hear a huge difference in the pickups. These, to me, have slightly less dynamic range, I feel like. They're a little more in your face, all around. Like... They maintain a certain volume, and I would say in that sense, these sound more like traditional humbuckers to me than those sound, where those have a little more, I feel like, dynamic range, even in the humbucker mode. This doesn't come with a split coil. I don't know if these pickups can be split coiled. I don't know if if they're wired that way, for a 2 or 4 wire. So, and I'm not sure if that might be. But I also, to me, they have a more of a... They have a little less sparkle on the top end as well, which, you know, again, I feel it's like it's a more of a mid-range tone. Very focused in the mid-range, which is going with the sub beat here. Here, if the pick changes, how much. This is the Oltex pick. This is a little bit. This seems to be the brightest. This is a maple top on a mahogany top on a maple body, which is unusual, I think. But so that might be partly why it's a little darker, but I attribute it mostly probably to the pickups. I do think the pickups are not as top. They don't have this shimmer as much as the newer pickups do. So I would say that's the biggest difference, and also a little less low-end response. So I would say probably a more full range tone out of the new pickups, meaning a wider EQ response across the low end and the top, which I personally like. I feel like you can always roll off bass on your amp. You can always roll off some high end if you need to, but you can't add what's not there. So for me, I definitely prefer the other pickups. Although I do like this guitar, and this one is probably a little better if you're going to play heavy stuff. Just let's hear it was just a regular overdrive. Well, as might be expected, I think this is more of a rock guitar. if I were going to try to play jazz on this, we'll definitely need to. Well, I don't know, I like this guitar too. I can't lie. And this is so lightweight, although I gotta be honest, it's not much lighter than that full hollow body. I think this is probably about 7 pounds. And for comparison, this hollow body is, honestly, it's heavier. Well, there's more guitar to it. There's just more overall wood. The neck is a little denser. This is probably about 8 pounds. Maybe 7. Probably a little under 8. I don't know. The way, not heavy, but definitely a little heavier than that. That's one of the reasons I got the little double cutaways. I wanted a really comfortable, lightweight guitar that I could just be very comfortable playing, laying in bed or what have you. Okay, well, this demo was way longer than I expected. And I'm going to edit it down, but hopefully it was helpful to somebody somewhere.